Time to put the spotlight then on what's going on within the luggage industry. Are we seeing that shift from unorganized to organized? What's the business outlook when it comes to VIP industries? And what are their strategies to regain market share? We've got right now with us Neetu Kashiramka, who is the Managing Director of VIP Industries. Neetu, thank you so much for taking time out and joining in. I want to start off with a broad view of the luggage industry rather, because that is seeing a bit of a shift from the unorganized to organized players. How fast is this in your opinion, and how do you look at growth for the industry over the next 1 to 2 years?
Yes, so you're absolutely right. There has been a shift from unorganized to organized. Pre-COVID, it used to be 60-40, 60 in favor of unorganized. Today, as we speak, it is 55 in favor of organized. So it's a big shift. And the growth, we are looking at 14% kind of a growth, which is based on the Euromonitor and other experts. They are assuming that the industry will grow at 14% in the next year. Also, the organized will 3 to 4% better than the unorganized.
Neetu, but you still have a long road ahead. Of late, the data points which have come from VIP, for a shareholder, they don't look impressive. Inventory levels are high, market share loss has been there, a lot of startup brands have started. The whole unorganized to organized market seems to be moving towards new brands rather than traditional brands like VIP. So what is your strategy in place to revamp all aspects of concerns?
So I totally agree. VIP has lost market share quite a lot in last, I would say 3 to 4 years. But we are all geared up to get back our lost market share. We have, we have undergone a lot of work around product. So our product will now compete directly with the new players as well as the existing premium players. The other thing is that I'm also looking at focusing more on the channels which are doing well. For example, e-commerce is something which is doing very well for this industry for past few years, and therefore our focus is also there. In fact, in next 3 to 4 months, I'll be the largest brand on e-commerce. So that's what I look forward for. And yes, definitely a lot of new products will make a difference in our strategy and growth. In fact, from Q4 onwards, I'll be double-digit growth is what I have been talking about. So you'll start to see some market share gain starting from Q4 itself.
I understand that you are working towards getting market share back, and I'm sure you will achieve it. But what would be the unique strategy that suddenly you will be able to gain market share back? Are you launching new products? Are you coming up with new distribution network? I'm just trying to understand the whole thought here.
Yeah. So our distribution network is the best in the industry. We have 13,000 touch points as we speak. And therefore, I don't need to revamp my distribution to gain market share. In fact, the thing which we were lacking was the right product for the right consumer at the right time. I think that is something which I'm working on. And it's already on the trajectory. We are launching 27 new ranges in end of March plus April first week. So that will help me change the gain market share.
Sizable 27 new products, because we were just discussing that each time you go to buy new luggage, I mean, it's a problem of plenty already, right? There are just so many varieties and options out there. But tell me, Neetu, given that as we understand, that there is a slump in demand for soft luggage, how much room for innovation does that really leave for you? And are you then going to target, X of soft luggage market?
Definitely. Yes, and soft luggage actually cannot do more innovation because you can have only more pockets and you cannot even play with more colors. However, in hard luggage, there is more opportunity for innovation. We can have a lightweight, we can have multiple colors, we can have metallic colors, we can have different shapes. So we can definitely do more innovation in hard luggage compared to soft luggage.
I distinctly remember I had a conversation with Mr. Piramal, and that was once upon a time. He said that, look, my manufacturing is focused in China because India is difficult when it comes to supply chain and when it comes to the entire dependability on the supply chain. But this conversation I had with Mr. Piramal pre-COVID. Have the supply chains moved? Yeah, have the supply chains moved from China to India?
Yes, definitely a lot has changed. In fact, today, I would say 95% of our hard luggage we are manufacturing in-house in Nasik, between Nasik and Sinnar. earlier pre-COVID, a large part of the imports was actually soft luggage and not hard luggage. Hard luggage was always remained in India for us. The other piece, in hard luggage, you do not need so much of labor. It is actually less labor required in hard luggage, and therefore it's easy to do it in India versus a soft luggage, which is difficult where you need a lot of manpower.
I have from Nuvama Institutional Equities, and I'll just read a line from that report, and then
Yes.
maybe you can talk about it. VIP has affected many changes at the management level. As a result, either half of the management is either new or has been assigned new roles, which means there is a serious revamp in the managerial roles. What are you
Yes.
trying to achieve because of it?
So I'm trying to bring in fresh blood and fresh thinking across. And also by retaining some of the people who have a lot of knowledge of travel industry. So few examples I can give you. I have actually moved the marketing head to the sales head. He is with VIP for 15 years. He knows all the nuances, and therefore he is the sales head now. I have hired a new blood for marketing head, few years with HUL, then Philips, and then with us. So these kind of things I've done so that I can achieve the growth what I'm looking at. Also, some of these people what I have hired are more passionate, and I think in their age group where they want to show something in their life. I think that's the idea of getting new and fresh thinking.
The picture for us, Neetu, where do you see VIP, say, in the next 3 to 5 years? What's going to be the scalability, the size, numbers, if you will, if you could give us any color on that?
I would say that as an organization now on, we don't lose market share. First, I will address that there is no drainage which was happening, and then start gaining market share. So today our market share is 37. I have an ambition to take it to 45 in next 5 years time, and with a CAGR growth of between 15 to 20%.
This would be, and market share would be a combination of new product launches, new innovative thinking, and
Launches,
perhaps
better
distribution.
efficient. Yes. So what will happen is today I have huge distribution, but some of the shops are buying from me once in 6 months. Now that is something which I need to change, which means that I need to, monetize my already existing distribution, which I have not been doing.
Okay, I just want to understand the entire luggage industry really from the side of a customer. Every time you do air travel, you allot 15 kgs. But every time I put my bag up, it weighs 2.5 kgs to about 3.5 kgs. Please do something about it. 3 kgs of a normal handbag, you got to pay airline extra. Can you sort this problem for us? It's a serious
Yes,
problem.
we are doing a lot of work around it. So a lot of my innovation is now lightweight. So in fact, in the innovation category, we are working on 3 major themes. And the biggest one out of that is the lightweight. In fact, my newest luggage, which we have recently launched, weighs 1.85 kg. So that will be quite light. So a lot of work is happening around that. And as I said, there are 3 themes. One is weight. The second one is use of technology. And the third one is luxury. And 50% of the new ranges will be actually lightweight. So that's something which we are definitely
What
working.
average replacement cycle in, let's say, a VIP bag? I'm just curious.
So replacement cycles definitely has come down. In the past, it used to be 5 to 7 years. It is now looking at 2 to 3 years. And not that because luggage is not, can't be used, but luggage is moving towards more fashion oriented as opposed to utility in the past. So it's becoming more fast fashion, and therefore people want to change.
Okay. Give us a sense of raw material pressure, raw material as percentage of total sales, and how are you looking at addressing that?
So at this point of time, raw material, we are very comfortable in the raw material piece. Currently, it is around 46 to 47% of our revenue, which is comfortable. And I think for FY25, we don't foresee it to go up. In fact, because I'm launching a lot of premium products, it tend to come down.
Please allow me to go back to that point of peer comparison. While you've lost market share, I'm simply curious to understand, let's say if I do a comparison of VIP versus Safari. These are the 2 peers which we compare. Last 3 quarters, you've clocked in a 7% growth followed by a 6% growth and a 5% growth. Safari has clocked in a 45% growth, 18% growth, and a 28% growth. There seems to be a serious gap there.
So I've understood that gap. As soon as I took over as a managing director, I visited 20 markets to actually realize what's wrong with VIP. And some of the problems which I saw was mainly to do with the product. And I'm happy to see that VIP has a great brand recall. People are giving us a chance, but it's because of our internal thing that we were not taking, which means a customer is going to my store, but because that person is not finding a right product relevant for him or her, they are moving out. So my actually challenge would be to keep that customer into my store and buy by giving him a relevant product. And that's what I am trying to solve. And as I said, in Q4, I'll be growing at least equivalent to industry, if not better.
You had a great, or a big dependence on this entire army canteen network, which in a sense you would go and you would get the attache. I still remember those days. How has that relationship over the years evolved?
Relationship is good as is. However, it's not growing a lot. So as a percentage of revenue of our business from being 17 to 18, it's currently hovering around 10 to 12%. So it's being a flat kind of a business for us.
You've tried to rebuild the VIP brand with new brands. You're addressing the youth now. You're addressing the so-called millennial travelers, fancy sky packs. How big is that business for VIP if one really looks at the new line launches and the so-called youth appeal products?
So the youth appeal product is basically a brand called Skybag.
Skybag.
And that's definitely doing well for us for quite some time. And it's close to 500 plus crore brand now.
Great. Good to have you today on the show, Neetu. Thanks so much for so candidly speaking with us about everything.
Thank you.
Okay, that's VIP. Quite a few number crunching in there, and where they actually see their market share as well as growth in the next 5 years. That's VIP currently sitting at the day's highs, about a 2.25% uptick. Let's just...
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.